Well, my colleague James Aveji joins me in studio this morning to elaborate more on the issues that were raised at CDD yesterday. So, James, let's look at the other sectors. What are the details, really?
So, the report focused also on corruption, the judiciary, education, health, and the other sectors, local governance as well.
Right.
Let's start with some of the positives. They noted that the John Mahama government is one that is open to advice, open to engagement, especially with the CSOs, and listens when they raise issues with key government policies. They also commended government on for continuing most of the infrastructure development projects that were started by the previous government, specifically the road projects that were commenced by the previous government. On the local governance front, you remember that this government decided to send the allocations of the district assembly common funds to the assemblies to 80% so that the work will go on at the assembly levels. Now, there's been issues that they raised that the government must look at. For instance, in Parliament, the matter of the excessive use of the certificates of agency to pass certain bills that are considered as very critical or sensitive bills. They noted that within a week or so, about 54 bills were passed in Parliament, most of which went through the certificate of agency. Which they said will not be good for our governance process, as they noted. Without
any proper,
scrutiny of these bills to bring the best out of them.
Bills.
Exactly. They also raised a concern about the unending and unresolved attack on journalists and media freedom.
Very important.
Very important one. They noted that on the corruption front, although they say government is doing well, they flagged the 20,000 gifts threshold that the president allowed, which he indicated that he will be putting in that code of conduct for public office holders. They say that the 20,000 gift threshold is too much and must be revised, because if I gift 5 people 20,000 Ghana cedis gift, that is about 100,000 Ghana cedis, which needn't be...
Before you move to the next one, I want you to elaborate a bit further on the attack on journalists, because we all are journalists. We need to be able to do our work in a safe environment.
Exactly.
What was the assessment there?
So their concern is how this has transitioned from the ordinary Ghanaian to security officers now who are supposed to investigate some of these things and make sure that you and I are safe, are now being the perpetrators
of the crime, of
some of these incidents. You recall the Latif issue
Idrisu,
is still in court. The latest, which is from the Ghana National Fire Service, is still being dealt with. The Ghana Journalists Association, in their last press conference, gave them a 2-week ultimatum to resolve this issue, else they may declare a media blackout on them. That 2 weeks had elapsed, but even the GJ themselves, we've not heard any pronouncement on this yet. The minister in charge of government communication indicates that they'll be doing some sensitization for the heads of the security agencies in order to keep some of these things. But the key issue has been how some of these cases are not investigated to the latter, and no prosecution are done to serve as deterrent. No proper conclusions.
Exactly,
to the issues to serve as deterrent to others. So that was the major concern of the CDD, and they are wondering how we are going to find a solution to it. They themselves do not have a solution yet, but they wish that government takes this on and finds some solution to it. On the foreign affairs front, they expressed worry over appointment of political persons to serve as national diplomats in other countries instead of career diplomats to take charge of some of these things. Because according to them, if you look at the current geopolitics and how it plays, it will better serve in the interest of the country.
You have experienced hands, those who are familiar with the diplomatic processes.
Exactly, to serve in some of these capacities than to appoint politically.
But the political appointments can be trained, can they not?
Yes, they can, but I mean, if you are trained if you are giving career training in certain things, you approach it differently from someone who is being trained only to take up that job. And so that's the worry they've been expressing about that. In fact, also including the security issues as have come up.
And let's wrap up with what happened or the concerns in education.
Yes, so you know that the last 8 years has been free senior high school focused. People like the Kofi Asari's Africa Education Watch have raised concerns about that. The CDD has also realized that the focus on the free SHS has created huge gap between the basic education and second cycle education, especially in terms of funding and infrastructure. They want government to concentrate now on funding of basic education in order to close that gap in terms of education, so that we can have a better output in all levels of our educational level, all our educational levels, in order to complement the education sector as a whole, but not focus on one and neglecting the other. That's the key concern they raise, and hope that government will take some of these issues and address them in their second, third, and fourth year, so that the John Mahama reset agenda can be fully fulfilled.
Thank you so much,
after his second coming.
Right, for that update. Thank you.